Hello folks, welcome back. We are into the third session of the Java interview questions for experienced professionals. So we handled about 15 to 20 questions in the past couple of sessions, and this session is going to be an extension of that. Explain Stream API. Java provides a new additional package from Java 8 called as java.util.stream. This package is special and it consists of classes, interfaces and enum which can allow functional style operations on the element. Remember, to get the functional style operations on the elements done, you need all these. You can use the stream by importing the java.util.stream package. A stream gets or computes elements on demand. Remember it, this is a very important point. It does it on demand. It never stores. Stream takes collections, arrays or IO resources as input source, and it supports aggregate operations which include the filter, the mapping, the limit, reduce, find, match and so on. This is such an important question. Whichever Java interview you go ahead with, this question will be there for sure. Difference between collections and streams in Java. Collections is all about storing or holding all the data that the data structure currently has in a particular data structure like set, list or map. But stream doesn't store data. That's what the previous question also highlighted. It operates on the source data structure, that's collection. And collections are non-consumable in the sense they can be traversable multiple times without creating it again. But Java streams are consumable. To traverse the stream, it needs to be created every time. Collections are modifiable. One can easily add or remove elements from the collections, but streams are not so. One can't really add or remove elements out of it. Collections are iterated externally using loops, but streams are iterated internally by just mentioning the operations from the streams. These four differences are important, and remember, this question is also frequently asked. Hash table. What is it? Can you talk about it a little bit? Or the internal implementation? This question also comes quite frequently in all the interviews, and people are really very much connected to this question. The interviewers are specifically very much connected to this question. Java HashMap class implements the map interface which allows us to store key and value pair. Remember, and key should be unique there. HashMap in Java is pretty much like the legacy hash table class, but one difference is it is not synchronized. It uses the technique called as hashing internally, and we all know what hashing is. Hashing is the process of converting an object into an integer value. The integer value helps pretty much in the indexing and faster searches. HashMap also contains an array of the nodes, and the node is represented as a class. Remember, the node is represented as a class. It uses an array and the linked list data structure internally for storing the key and value pair. This is a very important question, so please remember it. Explain the static keyword and where they can be used. We have three scenarios, three places where it can be used: static block, static variable, static method. The static block is anonymous static blocks that can be present inside a class. It is anonymous. When a class is loaded at runtime, I repeat, runtime, these static blocks will be executed. So we can put in statements that do necessary pre-processing inside the static blocks. Static variable, on the other hand, they are class level variables. All the objects of the same class share a common static variable, and this is very useful when all the objects need to share some common data. And static method next are class level methods. The previous one was class level variables, but this one is class level methods. Only one copy of the method implementation available for all the objects of the class, and we can directly use the class name to call on these methods without creating an object. Remember this is a very important point. We can directly use the class name to call on these methods without creating an object. Static methods cannot access non-static instances inside them, instance variables inside them. That's a very important point too. All these questions are consistently asked, so pay attention please, and you can even record it if you want, make a note of it, or however you want to do it, you can go ahead and make a note of it. I'm sure this will be very useful. Why can't the private and the static methods be overridden? The private methods of any class are definitely not visible outside the class definition, so they cannot be overridden. This is as simple as that. We cannot override the static methods because method overriding is simply based on the dynamic binding at the runtime, and the static methods are bonded using the static binding at the compile time. So one is the dynamic binding at the runtime, which is the requirement, but what happens here is the bonding is happening using the static binding at the compile time, so it cannot work out. So we cannot override the static methods. You can indeed write a method with the same name and signature in the derived class, but it won't be considered as overriding because there won't be any runtime polymorphism. This would be called as method hiding. This is a very important question. Again, what is method hiding? We have explained 5 important questions today. I hope it was very useful. If you have any questions, suggestions, please go ahead and type it in the comment sections. I'll be very happy to answer the questions. If you like the channel, the content, kindly subscribe. Thank you.